I mean,
Exactly, and we're live. Welcome to another episode of Late Night Take 3. It's going to be a fun one today. It's also a very small panel today because we've got Anthony here. Anthony, how's it going?
it's going good. Had a day off, and I've been looking forward to talking about this specific person for a while. Every time there's something with Nick Cage on it, I want to be involved. He is one of my favorites, and I look forward to whatever random topics you could possibly come up to talk about with him.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But yeah, before we sort of get into the main topic, we do have a bunch of movie news that I've got some of these have been in here for a long time, so I think they're still interesting to talk about and all that, and some dropped this week. So, but the first news story that we've got is this week we got a new trailer for the Christmas Chronicles 2, which is coming to Netflix in November. It looks like a fun movie, but Anthony, have you seen this trailer?
I have not watched the trailer yet. I knew it was coming out. I heard about it, and I heard just sometimes on Facebook, if something pops up, someone's like, "Oh, look, Christmas Chronicles 2." It's like, okay, I think the first one, I think Christina watched it. She said she really enjoyed it. I don't think I really watched it. I might have caught bits and pieces, but it seemed like a fun thing. And there's no way there wasn't going to be a sequel. So, I mean, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be entertaining at least.
Yeah, it's definitely one one thing I didn't know until I actually saw this trailer is Kiwi actor Julian Dennison is playing the villain in this. He was Fire Fist from Deadpool 2, Hunt for the Water People. It's something I never knew he was in this movie until I saw this trailer. It's like, so it's going to be really interesting. Kurt Russell is a badass Santa Claus, and it's going to be good to actually see the, more of the North Pole as well. So
Kurt Russell is badass anything, so that's
but the next news story that we've got is this dropped probably a few weeks ago now. But that's something really interesting because apparently movies about making movies is becoming a really big popular trend because we've got Mank coming out, but also in the works we've got a movie about the making of The Godfather, which I didn't know is a story worthy of making a movie on, to be honest. But Oscar Isaac is going to be playing Francis Ford Coppola, and Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Robert Evans, who I think is the writer. Anthony, are you interested in seeing a movie about the making of The Godfather?
Originally, when you just said the making of The Godfather, unless it's the making of The Godfather 3, and I'm trying to figure out why that turned into such a dumpster fire, that I'd be in for. But with the casting you just said of Oscar Isaac and Jake Gyllenhaal, I could be a lot more interested in seeing this now. I mean, they're obviously great movies, but to see what went behind the scenes, if there was something, especially something we don't know with those two, I'll definitely give that a shot.
Yeah. And also talking about The Godfather Part 3, one that I think, I don't know how long this has been in the roots, but I actually found out recently is there's actually going to be a director's cut of The Godfather Part 3 coming out at some stage. I don't remember who's bought it, but apparently Francis Ford Coppola just wanted to recut Part 3, so I don't know what's going to happen there and how interesting it will be.
Take out Sofia Coppola and replace her with someone new, maybe? That might be
it. But yeah, maybe it finishes that trilogy the way he wanted it to end. But yeah. But the next news stories that have got a bunch of sort of comic book ones, obviously, is the actress Iman Vellani is going to be playing Ms. Marvel in the Ms. Marvel TV series. I don't know much about this, but it sounds like an interesting casting. Anthony, any thoughts on this?
Well, I don't know much about the casting either. The extent of my Ms. Marvel is, they had like a Marvel exhibit here at the Franklin Institute in Philly, so we went to that to see it. You got a little detail on that. The Avengers video game obviously is where a lot of the lore between Miss Marvel is where I'm getting it from.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a very interesting character, someone to bring in, someone young into this whole thing. I mean, the TV series I'm looking forward to, all the Marvel ones, I think they're going to be great. And that's just another one to add to the list of time that I get to take up of my day to watch Marvel TV shows. So let's keep that in mind.
Yep. But the next one we've got is Doctor Strange is joining Spider-Man 3, and Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro. And there's rumours that we're getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as well, which I don't know. Apparently, it's not that Tobey and Andrew coming back is not true, but Doctor Strange and Jamie Foxx is true. What do you think about this?
I think it's awesome. I've been looking forward to the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness coming out for a while because I know you got. Obviously I suck at directors, but I know it's a horror director. But I'm really looking forward to this. I like the first one, was a little interesting, but the second one, when you bring in the multiverse and you can bring in the House of M storyline in some way, possibly with Scarlet Witch, this is what I've been waiting for, a way to bring in mutants, a way to bring in all these people. And then if you can bring him in with a multiverse and bring in all these different Spider-Men and bring in all these different villains from all over the place, that is an epic Spider-Man 3. And I will watch that probably as many times as I saw Avengers Endgame.
Oh yeah, it's one of those ones like Doctor Strange coming in I think is fine, because I think we're probably going to see, because from what I understand, Spider-Man 3 is supposed to be coming out after the Doctor Strange movie. So my theory is something's going to happen in Multiverse of Madness that's going to meet the Doctor Strange to prevent the movies down the line to help fix whatever has happened. And also, Jamie Foxx being brought back is the one that I'm kind of confused about. Because, like, out of all the villains throughout the Spider-Man movies that have been, why Jamie Foxx is Electro? But unless it's going to be a new take on Electro, which
I would think,
which there was a deleted tweet from Jamie Foxx, which apparently said that he wasn't going to be blue. So the fact that it was deleted is probably mean it's going to be a different version of Electro, but I'm just really, yeah.
I think they need to revamp that character, because Electro is a great villain in the Spider-Man series, and they just ruined him by making him blue, as you said, making him a giant Smurf. You don't need that. I think definitely if they bring him in as a different version, Jamie Foxx is just such a well-known great actor. You bring him in as a different version, kind of maybe revamp him a little and get a little bit of credit back from what you did to him the last time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those ones like the MCU Spider-Mans. I trust that they're going to do a good job with. This is going to be the last one in the MCU, so it looks like they're going to go all out for this. But next up, we've got Michael B. Jordan is going to be producing a Static Shock movie, which is, I think, is good, because there really isn't a lot of black superhero comic book movies that with them as the lead, and so I think this could be really interesting. And with Michael B. Jordan producing it, like, he really wants to make it good. What are your thoughts about this?
I mean, the extent of my Static Shock knowledge is the cartoons from back in the day. So, and I only watched a little bit. I wasn't as into it as I was some of the other ones. But it's a great character to bring in. Michael B. Jordan's fantastic in everything he does. So to give him a producer and let him try something maybe a little different. I don't know if he produced anything else, or I don't know if this is the first one, but to give him a little bit of a different job to really get his version, because he had one of the best villains in the entire MCU in Killmonger. He was absolutely incredible in that, and he's a great actor. So to hopefully get new blood in there and try something, like you said, you don't really have a lot of African American heroes and like a star, like a one based on other than really Black Panther. So to get Static Shock, it's a good character. He can definitely, if you get the right actor to play Static Shock, it could be a fantastic movie.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones, like, at this stage, I can't think of anyone at the moment, but I think the person that played Kid Flash in the Flash TV series could might be a good pick.
Yeah, man, what is?
Keenan Lonsdale, I think is his
That's
name.
right. Yeah, because he was Dear Simon, right? Love Simon. He was in. Yeah. No, he's great. He would be actually, yeah, that would be fantastic. I would like that.
But the next one is probably going to make a lot of people happy, but a lot of other people sad because I know this franchise is mixed. Fast and Furious is apparently ending after 2 more movies. Justin Lin's going to be directing both, so from what I understand, it's 2 more movies after 9, so it's going to end at 11. Any thoughts on this, Anthony?
I low-key love the Fast and Furious franchise. It's one of those guilty pleasures. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not good. They're just ridiculous, over-the-top movies. But I think 11's probably a good number. Like, if they end 11 right, it'll be good. If they don't, I'm going to be a little upset. But let's be honest. There's going to be spin-offs. There's going to be more Hobbs and Shaw. There's going to be more of those. So we're going to get more. I heard even the Ryan Reynolds character from Hobbs and Shaw might be getting a spin-off of the spin-off. So I heard that rumor somewhere. But Fast and Furious, that holds dear to my heart. A lot of my friends love this movie, and actually, the day of my wedding, we watched Fast and Furious 1 before we went to the chapel. So that was on in the background, and there are pictures of it as proof. So it clearly holds a place.
But next up, that it was announced like this week that Jared Leto is coming back as the Joker in Justice League, and Joe Manganiello is coming back as Deathstroke. Deathstroke is one that I did see coming, just because like they had a post-credit scene at the end of BVS, I think, which ended up not going anywhere because reasons. But Anthony, what are your feelings about these 2 characters returning?
Well, half of this is great, and it's not the Jared Leto part. The Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke, like just seeing him in it at the post-credit scene was great. He looks the part. He would be great. He's got the physicality. He's big. He's, he does that. I think me and you have had this discussion recently on a different show about how he would be a great Deathstroke, and that would be a great person to bring in any movie for it. Jared Leto as the Joker was, unless they bring him back and really give him that backstory and let us know why he's so just like the tats and all that's weird stuff that's going on. That's not the Joker. I know it's not the Joker anybody knows. So if you can come in and bring him in and give me a reason for all of this and make me like it more, I feel a little better. But he was a terrible Joker. And Jared Leto is a great actor. So it's really sad see that go down like
that. Yeah, this is one of those ones that I kind of disagree with you. I'm excited for both of these characters too. I'm one of the people that really don't hate Jared Leto's Joker. Because I've had many conversations with my friend Kelsey about this many times, and it's one of those ones like I don't think we're getting a backstory because, depending on the timeline of where Justice League fits, I believe it is after Suicide Squad anyway. And it's one of those ones like with both of these characters, we don't know how much screen time they're getting, whether and how much they featured sort of in the original actual story because. From what I understand, they're forming reshoots for these characters, so so they could only get like maybe 1 or 2 scenes, but even then, it'll be great because with the way that this Justice League story is, I don't know how much we need of these characters for what they're planning, but yeah.
If they do it right, it'll just do a really good job. If they screw up, then you know what? Then it's just like, all right, well, we did the right thing by not casting them again. So,
but next up, we've got Battlestar Galactica is getting a movie, and it's going to be written by Simon Kinberg, the person that ruined the Phoenix Saga storylines. Anthony, what do you think about this?
I don't really know a lot about Battlestar Galactica. Honestly, it was a show that I never really got into. I've heard people like it's one of those that a lot of people love it. Some people don't. It's just never one that I got into. It was during the time where I was watching a whole bunch of other shows. The fact that anyone would bring in the guy that did the Phoenix Saga, whatever, that's not good. Because that was rough. And hopefully he can make it up if he's a Battlestar Galactica fan and he's really trying to, bring it out and get that good movie, and then it could be a great movie. But again, I don't know enough about the show to really comment too much on the movie.
Yep. No, I'm the same. Like, I don't know much about this TV show either. But I mean, like, I think Simon Kinberg's like can do good with scripts occasionally, but this is also another one which I don't know too much to sort of say whether I think this is a good or not. But
right.
But I mean, it's a sci-fi movie. I'll probably end up going see it, maybe from another TV series. But yeah, and then going the other direction. Tim Burton is going to the small screen and developing a live-action TV series based on the Addams Family. This is really up Burton's alley. Like, they're creepy, they're kooky, but it's
nice. Well done.
But I mean, I was about to start singing the Tiny Toons theme song, which doesn't go mad. But anyway, but yeah, like this should be interesting. Who knows when we'll get it or when they'll be able to film it. So I know some places are able to film now during COVID as long as they're taking the precautions. But
yeah.
But this should be fun. Anthony, what do you think about this?
I agree. That's very interesting. Like, Tim Burton does weird well. He does it really well. The Addams Family is the perfect kooky weird family for him. When you watch the original ones, you kind of think Tim Burton had a hand in it somewhere because it just seems that way. I really like it. If you get the right cast for it, that's going to be the key. Because I love the movies. Values is great. And even the new animated one, I know got panned a little bit, but I was entertained by it because I enjoy the Addams Family as a family, how they do it. So if you get the right cast for it and you get the right people, that's going to be, I mean, obviously it's probably going to be Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter if you want to pay them for a TV series. But if it's not, if you can find some new people, that would be awesome. I will 100% watch that.
But yeah, it's one of those ones like Brian's dropped his own casting thoughts in this. Like, he wants Oscar Isaac as Gomez, Eva Green as Morticia, Gaten Matarazzo as Pugsley, Christina Ricci as Wednesday, Bill Hader as Fester.
Yeah,
that person is Lurch. But I mean, like, Chris, depending on where they go with it, I don't know, because from what I've read is it's going to be set in present day. So whether or not he uses it to have their to like have them talk about COVID or something, I don't know if I'll be down with that, but it could be really interesting. But yeah. That's kind of all the news that we have.
That's some good news.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Like, I know there's a lot more than drop. It's like I got rid of something because it's like, well, it's not like it's been talked to death. Namely, The Lion King 2, which I don't know if we need.
No, we don't.
But Barry Jenkins directing it is interesting. But
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But now we're going to go to the main topic of Nicolas Cage. But Anthony, what are some of your favorite movies that you've?
Where do I start with this guy? With him, I mean, obviously, some of my favorites were always in the '90s. There's '90s action, just Nicolas Cage being in a lot of Nicolas Cage. Con Air, The Rock. I absolutely loved those. More recently, he has done some that are very good, and he can be full Nick Cage with actually acting well. The ones like Mandy, Mom and Dad, and I already forgot another one I was thinking of, but like stuff like that is really good when he can just really take it to his level of insane, and it works. But like the Con Airs, The Rock, the National Treasure movies are a guilty pleasure. Some people hate them. I find them very interesting. Yeah, I lived in Philadelphia. I've done the National Treasure walk. I went from like the Franklin Institute all the way to Liberty Bell to where he got arrested. I've done all that. There's a lot of stuff. The Vampire's Kiss, like you have on your little thumbnail. He's just Nick Cage. Like you have to take him for what he is. People watch movies like, oh, this is a bad movie. He's over the top. Yes, because that's what he does. Let it be. And some of the movies he just had to pay for his giant dinosaur bones. So you got a life left behind in a couple like that. You just gotta let him back.
Yeah, I mean, like Nick Cage is one of those actors in which, like, I've seen his movies. A lot of them I kind of think are fine. I do enjoy like Face Off. The first National Treasure is great. Books of Secrets isn't. But it's one of those ones like I have fun watching his movies. There's still a lot I haven't seen. But I mean, if you want to know more about my thoughts on specific Nicolas Cage movies and what I've seen and haven't seen, there is a ranking episode where we did Nicolas Cage already, so it's all up there. But in the chat, people, Stardrew brought up Peggy Sue Got Married. I haven't seen it himself. Garth loves the Community episode with Abed going full Nick Cage.
Okay, that's good. Snake Eyes, yes. I watched all those for a match sometime. I'm just watching those. Yeah, Valley Girl, obviously, Raising Arizona is one of the best Nick Cage performances in general. But again,
yeah, and I think the best one that everyone goes to is one that I actually haven't seen, which is Leaving Las Vegas.
Right,
when he was nominated for an Oscar. But it is what it is. But with that being said, as always, I like having fun with these. I like making brackets.
Oh, you are not! Oh, you bastard!
I get that all the time. I'm used to it.
I know, because I'm pretty sure Christina said it when you did a Lost one, and then I had to do stuff. Okay. I like this game. I'm very intrigued by this game. Some of these are going to be very easy, I think, for me though.
I mean, some of these I think are going to be pretty easy. Hopefully, it decides it actually wants to do something.
If you put Connor versus The Rock in round one, Malcolm, we're going to have some words because that's going to be a damn near impossible thing for me to do. I feel like you have it in there.
But yeah. While I wait to see if this is going to do something, because otherwise we won't be able to really do it.
Hopefully it works.
But while it's doing that, I'll just take it off screen. But it is one of those ones that is really fun. Like what I did with this is I took the top 32 of his highest grossing movies. Okay. I took the top 32 of his movies on Rotten Tomatoes, the top 32 of those. I did the fun maths, like if it was number one, it got number 32, and then and I made up a full thing.
No, I like it. There's probably a few of his that I can almost guarantee will not be on there that are low-key gems if you have not seen them. Some of the ones I mentioned, Mom and Dad with Selma Blair is, I'm just, while that's kind of waiting, I'm just kind of talking a little bit about some stuff.
That's all good.
But that is, there it goes. Oh, it seems to work.
But the first matchup we have is we've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse versus Fast Time at Ridgemont High. This is easy for me. Like I've not seen Fast Time, so I'm going to have to go Spider-Verse.
This one actually is more difficult than you'd want to be. But if we're going Nick Cage in the movie, that's kind of where I'm taking this, not by which movie is my favorite. It would be Spider-Man. He's in Fast Times. He's not in a ton. He's just, it's kind of very, I think it might be his first role, if I'm not mistaken. It's just the movie itself is very good, but he's kind of got a small role in it. It's not a lot, but Spider-Man, as Spider-Man Noir, that voice is very good for it. So, and Spider-Man is one of the best comic book movies / animated movies / just movies. Period. It's great.
Yep, and this will be, and there will be cases in which if we end up in time, I will be going to the chat for this, but next one we've got Gone in 60 Seconds versus the aforementioned Peggy Sue Got Married. Once again, I've already seen Gone in 60 Seconds. Anthony.
They're both great. Gone in 60 Seconds is one of those. When it comes to Nick Cage movies, that is one of mine that I love. He's just over the top. The movie itself it's not a great movie, but is a fun movie. It's fun, and just Nicolas Cage is great in it. Let's go. So, Gone in 60 Seconds is definitely going to be my pick on that one. Peggy Sue Got Married is good. It's a good movie. It's not.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one next round.
Oh God.
We've got Kick-Ass versus City of Angels. Anthony, I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay. Just due to the fact of my Nick Cage love is clearly due to him being over the top. With Nick Cage, I would go Kick-Ass. I think City of Angels is a really good movie. It's nicely done. It is very popular, but sometimes when it comes to the romance type things with him, it doesn't go as well. Kick-Ass, he was fantastic as Big Daddy, and just when he just shot Hit Girl, just to practice, it was so funny the way all his lines were delivered really well, and he never really had to go too over the top. But the way he delivered all his lines as the father figure was.
Yeah. So. Yeah, this one is tough for me. Because I really do love City of Angels. I think it is a good movie, but I think I'm going to have to go slight on the edge to Kick-Ass as well. And it's no secret that I like my comic book movies, but it's one of those ones you don't know how close this is, but the first Kick-Ass was great. It's something I never expected at all in the first place.
Yeah. I'm not liking the way this is going. You're making these are too easy to start. There's going to be some bad ones coming up soon, I feel like. Right. Attempt number 2. This thing is just not liking you much. Oh.
I've never had this much issues with challenge before.
I will blame myself because normally when I'm around a computer, it breaks. So this is probably my fault.
No, it's whether I think it's an issue of challenge itself. I'm actually going to go down to the bottom and move up from the bottom.
Okay, because that next one was not going to be easy.
We've got Adaptation versus Con Air.
This one I find unfair because he is fantastic in Adaptation. He pulls out a great acting performance in Adaptation, so it should win. But due to the fact that this is my opinion, and due to the fact that I have put the bunny back in the box as my name, clearly I'm going Con Air because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is off the wall crazy. It's great. Nick Cage with this horrible Southern accent, but the lines, the John Malkovich lines, the Dave Chappelle, everyone in this movie is great. Adaptation is probably the better movie technically, but Con Air, gotta go Con Air.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that that I haven't seen that Adaptation. I'm going to have to go Con Air by default, even though I really do not like Con Air.
Oh, come on. It's so good. It's not good, but it's so good. All at the same time.
But next up, we've got Red Rock Rest up against Knowing. Man, that's a little. These are two ones I've seen once,
and then kind of forgot they existed. I wasn't really. I feel like Knowing was one of those that I really wasn't a big fan of. I didn't really. The sci-fi angle kind of caught me off guard. Red Rock West was kind of more of a Western noir type thing. I would go just with this one, just off of kind of which one I prefer to watch again would be Red Rock West.
Yeah, this is one that this is one of the rare ones that I haven't actually seen either of them, so I can't vote. So by one, it's going to be Red Rock West moving on.
All right.
But next up, we've got Mandy up against Matchstick Men.
Go ahead, Mal. Yeah, I didn't know if you want me to go first or second, but you go. You can take
I mean, this is one I really can't stand Mandy. I'm going to go Matchstick Men. There's not much else I can say about it. I really don't like Mandy. Probably who else are you going?
Let's whoever's in the chat, let's start writing out your picks because I would definitely go Mandy with this. I thought it was one of those gonzo, insane, just nutso movies, but it works so well for Nick Cage's acting style. When he was just in the bathroom, just losing his mind because his wife got kidnapped, like that whole scene, even though it's Nick Cage being Nick Cage, you feel it a little bit more because that's what this is about. Him going on the rampage, yes, there are some parts that are a little over the top, a little excessive, but Mandy was, I thought, a great movie, and it really caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it.
But yeah, like people in the chat, throw out either Mandy or Matchstick Men. I'll give you a few minutes. Stardrew says that he's hasn't seen Mandy, but he thinks he's seen Matchstick Men.
It is a rough watch. It is not something something you can just, hey, I'm just going to watch this fun movie. Don't expect that. You got to go and you got to be prepared to watch Mandy. And if you are, you'll love it. If you're not, it is not for you. You'll not get it. It'll be too much. It'll be way over the top. But if Matchstick Men wins, I get it. It is it is a good movie. Mandy to me was fantastic.
But yeah, but what I'm going to do is because Stardrew thinks he's seen Matchstick Men, I might actually Garth says Mandy was too off-ball for him, so I'm going to take that to mean he's going to go with Matchstick Men.
Understood. I get it. Mandy is super off-ball. There's no way to deny that.
But yeah, going to put Matchstick Men is going through.
Maybe. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize again for me being near the computer. It's definitely my fault. Every time I try to use like the credit card machine, it breaks, and they're like, "Oh, this is weird. Never happens." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
I mean, it's one of those ones that I'm pretty sure it is the site itself. I might need to find. I do not know why he gave Matchstick Men 4 because I don't even have that many people watching.
You just like it that much, you gave it twice, or you don't like Mandy that much, you gave one extra Matchstick Men.
But hope this.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That is a great reference.
But next up, we've got this should be interesting. We've got Moonstruck versus Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Anthony, you can go first.
I mean, they are two just completely different movies, but Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance is pretty bad. Moonstruck is a really good movie. I don't think I can vote for Ghost Rider. I don't think in my heart of hearts, especially the second one, I don't think I would have to go Moonstruck. Just even though I like Nick Cage and Ghost Rider, it's the movie itself. I can't do that one. I'll go Moonstruck with this.
Yeah, this is one like Moonstruck is one that I just haven't got around to seeing. I have to go here But with that being said, Garth has already said in the chat that he'll go Moonstruck, so he's breaking up the tie already.
When the comics guy comes out, it's like I can't. I gotta go Moonstruck. You gotta go Moonstruck.
Oh, I mean, like Ghost Rider is one of those ones that. But next up, we've got Teen Titans Go to the Movies and The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
These are in the top 32. Wow.
I mean, Teen Titans is there because of the box office.
Yeah.
Sorcerer's Apprentice, I think, got him because it's really good on Rotten Tomatoes. I think. No, I think this is. I think these are both box office. Actually.
Yeah. No, First Apprentice did well at the box office, but that's about it.
But this, I actually like Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I'm going that.
Here's the thing. I've not seen Teen Titans Go to the Movies yet. However, I want to. I actually would like to see that movie. I just haven't gotten to it. And The Sorcerer's Apprentice is very disappointing because it had Nick Cage and Jay Baruchel, and I would really hope that that would have been a better movie. But it was awful. I would just, off of even not seeing it, I would rather not see The Sorcerer's Apprentice again. And so I would pick Teen Titans Go to Movie. But if you just want me to go with the straight up, I haven't seen it and pick Sorcerer's Apprentice, that's fine too.
I mean, whichever way you want to go, it's up to you.
I would just go Teen Titans. I mean, because Sorcerer's Apprentice, I can't do that one. That is a movie I do need to watch at some point, though. Teen Titans Go. And he finally got to be Superman. So, I mean, it should get the vote for that alone. When he should have been the Kevin Smith movie.
Do some more from it. I'll go straight for the middle.
Oh God!
Leaving Las Vegas versus Color Out of Space.
Yo, can you go first?
I haven't seen either of these.
Oh, and I guess this is crazy hard for me because Leaving Las Vegas was probably the best. His straight acting, like you said, Oscar nominated. Like that's a lot going on there. He's very, very good, and it's a very good movie. Color Out of Space is a fantastic H.P. Lovecraft adaptation that just came out recently. He was awesome in it. I mean, if you like, it's not as off ball as Mandy, but it does have that kind of body horror a little bit. I feel this is such a dick move. Just due to the fact I feel like Leaving Las Vegas needs to not be knocked out in the beginning, I will pick Leaving Las Vegas. But if you haven't seen Color Out of Space, definitely give Color Out of Space a watch. Nick Cage is great in it. The kid, Brendan Meyer, is in it. It is a really good movie, and you definitely need to give it a watch. Just be prepared because it does have the H.P. Lovecraft type weird creature type thing and colors and all that. But it is a really good movie.
But the next matchup I've selected is The Rock versus Joe. He literally was in a movie just called Joe.
Yes.
This is one that I know people are going to get upset if I'm going to go to The Rock anyway. I've never seen Joe, so
yeah, it's absolutely The Rock. The Rock's fantastic. Nick Goodspeed, come on, The Rock is a great movie. Christina actually liked The Rock. She didn't. She was like, "Oh, I actually didn't hate that." Like, cool. Which doesn't hate a Nick Cage movie.
But next up, we've got National Treasure versus Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans. For me, even though I don't like this, I'm going this because I never heard of the other one until when I made this bracket up.
This one is another one of those tough ones for me because they're very different Nick Cage type movies. I do love National Treasure. I think it's a fun movie. I think it's great, and just all the history is fantastic. Bad Lieutenant Protocol, Malcolm, this is actually a remake of a Harvey Keitel movie That came out. I don't know when it came out because I don't know movie release dates. But Nick Cage in it is very good in it. It is a little. It's not as good as the original, but I think I'm going to go with you on this one. National Treasure. I enjoy the movie a lot. I said it in numerous chats, and people know I lived 3 blocks away from where he got arrested, and I've ate the restaurant that he got arrested right in front of numerous times. It's very good. But yeah, National Treasure is great. But if you haven't seen Bad Lieutenant and you want something that's a little crazy, but kind of just fun, and you don't really have to pay that much attention, that's a solid watch. Thank you, Garth. Garth is right. No matter how many Oscars Joe might get, The Rock wins.
But no, The Rock might even be nominated for Oscars before Joe gets nominated.
Yeah, probably. For anyone who hears of it.
All right, next up we've got The Croods versus Valley Girl. One of the matchups which is I found really interesting that happened this way, but it's like
yeah, that's
I mean, I actually really love The Croods. I tried watching Valley Girl the other day actually, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, Valley Girl's fine. It doesn't do it for me as much. I mean, The Croods, like you said, I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything spectacular. I didn't think they needed a sequel that's coming out soon. But as good as Valley Girl is, I would go The Croods. I was more entertained by that than I was by Valley Girl. I know that one probably might get hit a couple times, but
I mean, to be fair, does anything really need a sequel?
There's sometimes. Yeah, Con Air needs a sequel, and I haven't gotten it yet.
And I mean, let's put it, it's coming out soon, which means it may be moved.
Sitting here
but next up, we've got G-Force versus Ghost Rider.
I love this. Okay.
I mean, I don't want either of these to go through, but I'm going to have to. If one of them has to go through, I'm going to go Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I got it. I wasn't thinking Ghost Rider was going to make it out of the first round, but when it's going up against all the gerbils, I mean, I feel like it's going to make it through the first round. So yeah, Ghost Rider beats G-Force out. Wow, that's rough. That's a man. How did that get hit like that?
Next up, we've got Face Off up against The Family Man.
No, not even.
You can go first on this one.
This is not even a question. It's Face Off. Face Off is one of the great 90s action. You have Nicolas Cage playing Travolta, Travolta playing Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, just the quotes in this movie are great. His facial expressions are hilarious. He's just so over the top. It's everything you'd want in a movie to watch him go full Nick Cage and then try to be John Travolta, but just can't get rid of his own personality in there. Face Off, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, The Family Man is fine. It's
right.
I mean, it's rather it's fine, but I like I said on the Rankin episode, I really love Face Off. It is moving on. And also, as Garth says, he likes Family Man, but Face Off has to win.
Has to win. I want to take his face off. Yeah. Apparently, it's online attacks. Apparently, it's me.
All
right. Let me look at some of these other ones. See if I can figure out what I want to do here.
I think we've only got 2 matchups left in round 1.
Okay, so, it's not too bad.
We've got Raising Arizona up against World Trade Center. I've not seen Raising Arizona, and I think World Trade Center is really good. So it really is.
That's fine. I will tell you right now, go see Raising Arizona. Raising Arizona is fantastic. It is a great Coen Brothers movie. He's great in it. It's funny. It's everything you would want in just a movie. It's I think one of his best movies, just overall in general, and one of the best Coen Brothers movies. And I'm a huge fan of Big Lebowski, and it goes like that, Raising Arizona, and then Raising Arizona. I think you're gonna need to go to the chat with this one.
Well, it was actually pretty much decided. I'll see if it's come through here. Yep, it is. It's going to be Raising Arizona that's going to move on.
Yeah, I can understand not seeing it because it's kind of one of those. It's like in the background of the Coen Brothers, but Malcolm, I definitely would put that on your list for this, like for coming up, because I think you'd really enjoy it.
And the last one, we've got National Treasure: Book of Secrets up against Birdie, which is a movie I've never heard of. So once again, I'll by default go for that.
You know, I hate to say this, but there's a Nicolas Cage movie that I know nothing about, and the answer to that is Birdie. I just looked it up. It was like 1984. I have no idea what this is. So, I mean, I still enjoyed National Treasure Book of Secrets, and reading through what Birdie was, I still feel like I would enjoy Book of Secrets better, but I got to give that one I got to go find Birdie somewhere, so...
Yeah, apparently critics really loved it, which is why it is here. It was really high up of one of most critics' score.
Yeah, well, all right.
Which means we move into round 2. So we can start from the top. Got Spider-Verse up against Gone in 60 Seconds.
85.
I'll go to you first on this.
All right, this one's tough because Spider-Man and Spider-Verse is by far the better movie. There's no way you can deny that. However, if we're going Nicolas Cage movies, I'm going to say Gone in 60 Seconds because he is the star of Gone in 60 Seconds. And Spider-Man and Spider-Verse, he is great as Spider-Man Noir, but he's only in it for a small period of time, and there's a lot of other characters that he has to go through and talk around all the other Spider-Men in the Spider-Verse. So I'm only going to say Gone in 60 Seconds because we're discussing Nick Cage, and that's the way I'm looking at it, not by movie.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I think Gone in 60 Seconds is fine. Like, his performances are fun. I mean, even though he is only in Spider-Verse a little bit of time, I'm probably going to give my vote to his performance in Spider-Verse over his performance in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Perfectly. I can't argue that. It's perfectly acceptable for just looking at it differently.
But yeah, it actually both Star Drew and Garth are going Gone in 60 Seconds, so that is going to move on.
All right. Yeah, I think that's the only reason is just simply time in movie at that point, because obviously he's better in Spider-Verse, but he's barely in it. So even I can act for 10 minutes. Nah, I can't. That's a lie. That's just a lie. Cool. Okay.
3, 1. All right, and we've got Kick-Ass versus National Treasure. This is easy. It's Kick-Ass. I really don't like National Treasure. Not one bit.
All right. This is tough because again, it's kind of similar situation with Spider-Verse of he's not in Kick-Ass as much as he is in National Treasure. And I really like National Treasure. I enjoy the movie. But as a Nick Cage performance, I kind of like him in Kick-Ass better because I just enjoy the way he exudes just as Big Daddy. I enjoy that. I think it's fantastic. National Treasure is great in my opinion, but per performance, I'm gonna go Kick-Ass in a strange one. This one hurts a little to say, but I like the way he acted in Kick-Ass a little bit more.
And Garth has got something he wants you to do on.
Yeah, sorry. If you didn't notice immediately after I said that is a lie, I cannot act. But if the pitch is there, I'll give it a shot. I'll try. Give me a monologue, just a 2-minute monologue. I'll do it. I'll do my best.
Next up, we've got The Croods versus Ghost Rider.
How did this happen? How are these two in the second round? All right.
I mean, as I go there. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to have to go Ghost Rider. I like The Croods, but I think he's better in the first Ghost Rider.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is awful. Like the way you just said that made me change my mind a little bit because the Croods, it's hard to do get somebody an animated movie and really see their acting because you don't get a lot of facial expressions, you don't get a lot of over the top. It's just the voice. And like you said, I like the Croods. I think it's a fine movie. I think Ghost Rider is not a good movie, but Nicolas Cage, he does his Nicolas Cage in Ghost Rider, and that's what I appreciate. So I will give it to that. Please, God, let that die out in the next round. I don't know who's playing, but that needs to go.
We'll find out who he's playing, and I don't see it going past.
It's gone. It's gone.
The Rock versus leaving Las Vegas. Where are you going?
I hate to do this because at least leaving Las Vegas, it made it out of the first round. I would have felt bad if it didn't, but it's The Rock. The Rock. I love this movie. I absolutely adore The Rock. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't seen Leaving Las Vegas in the few minutes it's been since we talked about it last, so it is going to have to be The Rock.
I got a couple Nick Cage movies to put on your list, I think.
I mean, it's been on my list for the longest time. It's just finding them is the hardest thing.
Yeah, that is true. And sometimes you're just not in the mood for the kind of romantic type movie. You need to be really in the mood for one of those. You gotta be ready to pay attention, really enjoy it. Well, if you throw on The Rock or Con Air, you can just do something in the background, show up every now and then when John Malkovich shoots someone's head and goes, "No, that's clever," because that's a great line.
Next up, we've got Face Off up against Raising Arizona.
Oh, one of these couldn't play Ghost Rider or The Croods? This is brutal. Can you go first? Because I need a minute. I think I know.
I mean, once again, I haven't seen Raising Arizona in the few minutes, in the 5 minutes since we last. And if someone can watch a movie in 5 minutes, it's really impossible to do.
You might miss a couple plot points. This one is really hard because both Nicolas Cage performances are very, very good. Well, I mean, not one's Nicolas Cage and one's a good Nicolas Cage, but I think I'm gonna go with thank God no pretentious people are gonna be like, oh, why don't you pick Raising Arizona? Because I'm gonna go Face Off because Nicolas Cage is great in Face Off, and he is everything you want from a Nicolas Cage performance. God, Raising Arizona is good though.
Apparently, I need to see a movie called "It Could Happen to You."
Happen to you. Okay. I feel like I've heard that.
We've got National Treasure Book of Secrets up against Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I'm going Teen Titans Go to the Movies because Book of Secrets is trash.
Oh, whoa.
Where are you going?
Whoa. That's what it was. Okay. I like Book of Secrets. I'm going to put this one to the chat just because I haven't seen Teen Titans Go, and I do enjoy Book of Secrets. So I'm going to bring this one to the chat and let them do that. But yeah, It Could Happen to You is actually, it's not a bad Nicolas Cage one either, a little romance type thing.
Yeah. So chat, which is basically Stardrew and Garth. Are you going to go? Garth is going Book of Secrets.
No, okay. I feel it, but then I feel like Stardrew's going with Teen Titans Go because he said it's not a good sequel. So,
well, I mean,
who's got a coin?
Well, Stardrew's actually going with Garth because I think it's one of those cases of Spider-Verse all over again because as Garth points out, Nick Cage isn't in Teen Titans Go that much, which is true.
That's the issue with some of those is one movie might be much better, but if he's just not in it that much and you're doing an actor, it's hard to.
Next up, we've got Moonstruck versus Matchstick Men.
maybe.
Someone really likes Teen Titans Spider-Verse, and they're hacking the system to stop
Yeah,
us
really,
doing
not,
swapping it
I'm
in.
not happy about this.
But we got Moonstruck versus Matchstick Men. Where are you going on this?
I mean, neither of them are my favorite Nick Cage type movies, but I would go Moonstruck. I just think it's a little bit of a better one than Matchstick Men, but this one can kind of go either way for me. They're a little outside of my normal what I enjoy.
Yeah, this is one that Garth is going Matchstick Men himself, so
that is a perfectly understandable decision, and this one I will not be upset about losing out on.
I mean, that one I knew instantly was going to go to the chat because I hadn't seen Moonstruck. But we've got Red Rock West up against Con Air. I think I know where this is going because, one, I've only seen Con Air, and I don't think you're going to go against it.
I'm not going against Con Air. There's a lot of potential Con Air wins this whole thing for me.
We've got Con Air versus Matchstick Men.
I feel like I don't need to state my case on this one.
No, and I don't need to state my case on this one. So chat.
So it's so upsetting, Garth. I feel like you need to give it another shot.
Garth is yelling Con Air, whether or not that's for the last one or not, but
as he should. Yell it out.
As Garth pointed out, see my previous comment.
Yeah.
Going up against Con Air is Face Off or Book of Secrets. I'm going Book of Face Off.
I was about to say, there's no way you're going Book of Secrets. It's absolutely Face Off is the right answer here. That is the correct answer.
That's going to make an interesting battle.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts so hard. Oh.
We've got Ghost Rider versus The Rock. So Ghost Rider wins this one?
The Rock. No, it's very yeah. Like, how are these matchups? The earlier matchups were much harder than these.
On 6 Seconds versus Kick-Ass.
This one gets more interesting.
I mean, this is one that that if Spider-Verse went in, I'd still go Spider-Verse in this, but I think Kick-Ass is fine. I think he's fine, but I think I prefer him in God 60 Seconds, ironically. So I'm going that one. Where are you going on this?
Tough, because again, I really like him in Kick-Ass. I think he's great, but in Gone in 60 Seconds, I just enjoy that movie a little bit, maybe not better, but I enjoy him in the movie better. He's in it a lot more, and there's just Gone in 60 Seconds. This one was definitely the hardest of this round by a long shot.
Gone in 60 Seconds moves on.
And in 60 seconds, we will be refreshing this page. I don't know who's trying to hack your bracket, but they're really trying.
I don't know if anyone's trying to hack it. I've just think Challenge have changed their security things, which has made it really annoying when it comes to brackets. Doing this, I might have to. If I continue doing these, I might have to find a better site to make brackets on that hit. But we've got Gone in 60 Seconds versus The Rock. And I'm not talking about the actor.
He would have ruined that movie. It's gonna be The Rock. The Gone in 60 Seconds is fine, but The Rock is near brilliance.
Yeah. If Hollywood is listening, they're probably going to do a remake of The Rock with The Rock starring in every role.
I think I'd watch it. I'd not be happy about it, but I'd watch it.
If someone's watching, Photoshop the post for The Rock with The Rock's face on all the bodies.
And if you can find him doing Nicolas Cage face, it'd be great.
But Face Off versus Con Air.
I know where you're going. We all know where you're going. I feel like this one is more difficult than I wanted it to be, but I think, Star Drew Garth, like start typing your answers in because I gotta go Con Air. I absolutely love that movie. I have watched that movie more times than I could possibly count. Probably more than any other movie I've seen other than Big Lebowski. That would be actually fun.
But yeah, Star Drew Garth, Face Off for Con Air. The winner of Garth is going Con Air, and Star Drew says he's seen Con Air more than Face Off, so I think that means they're both going that way.
That's a hard choice. They're both such good movies.
Which, ironically, is the matchup that you're hoping wasn't going to be the first round matchup as the final matchup.
Well, it was the first round matchup, so I got that going for me.
Where are you going?
Do we all know where we're going with this? Obviously, it's going into the chat, and we're going to make them torture us because I love Con Air. How do you not love Con Air, Malcolm? That's killing me inside a little. Oh, God, I love this movie.
So, Star Drew Garth, The Rock or Con Air to win?
Oh, that is, man. I feel like both of these movies just have such great supporting casts. Like when you go outside of the top like two people, everybody's fantastic.
But while we, I mean, Star Drew, I want you to pick one because I don't know what the number one seed is, and because they will win automatically if no one picks anything.
Someone better pick Con Air because I know The Rock's like a 6 and Con Air's like 12. Because I just saw it. God, John Malkovich, Dave Chappelle, Danny Trejo, John Cusack. Like, how many people do I have to say that are in Con Air that just make the movie so perfect? It's so good.
But Garth is going with The Rock. Star Drew wants to get Christina in here.
Oh, dude. Christina's 100% in bed and she'd probably pick The Rock, I'd be perfectly honest, because she is not a fan of Con Air like I am.
Which means
it's okay. You know what? I don't hate it, but still.
No, that time I'm blaming the hacking on Anthony because he didn't want The Rock to beat Con Air.
That's 100% what just happened. I lied when I said I was bad with computers. I'm actually great, and I just hacked right in.
But with that being said,
okay, I'll take Con Air number 2. Let's be honest, it probably didn't deserve to win, but I love that movie.
But with that being said, that does finish. That I don't. There's not really much else to do with Nicolas Cage, but I think that does end the show today. But this is a good time to say next week I don't know what's happening because it is the weekend of Halloween. We're going to be talking horror, and I've got a fun bracket for that one that I spent a good long time working on yesterday for. But yeah. That being said, Anthony, where can people find you online?
I scatter around all the leagues and all the places, so you can find me on Tony's League and Fantasy Featured Presentation Presents. I'm over there all the time. It's on Fantasy Film Fights on occasion. Malcolm, I'm with you here on Take 3. I join up on your classics on occasion. Hopefully your wheel spins my name this Sunday so I can get our chance. On Opening Night Trivia League, Spence's League, you'll see me over there. I also have a show on that called Working Title, which Malcolm and Garth have both been on, and it's just a movie pitch show. I give you a couple topics, you pitch me a movie, you get some time. There is the one great thing about it, there's not really a winner. There's just somebody I pick, but there's no stakes. It's just for fun. It takes like 30, 45 minutes. So you're seeing this and you want to join, hit me up. Friends of most of you, so that's always fun. And I appear just randomly all over.
But as Garth pointed out in the chat, it was inevitable that it was going to come down to The Rock and Con Air.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe if there was more people on, maybe more people joined us, and who it would have been a different story. But with that being said, you can find me over on Tape 3. Tomorrow we are doing Rankum. It is going to be Michael Keaton movies, which is going to be a lot of fun. And next, and as I said, next week, Late Night Tape 3, we're doing Halloween horror stuff. And you can find me over on Full Metal, where I'm going to be, where I do Full Metal Classic on Sundays. I'll be doing the draw at some stage tonight. Some people may catch it live, some people may just watch it later, or they'll just not watch it, wait till I make the group chat. So, but you can also over on Full Metal Random, we've got Nico up against his sister Gianna in a My Hero Academia match.
Yeah,
which may or may not be hosted with me, with Jay or Doug. They'll be there to help pronounce the foreign names for me. But with that being said, and until next time, we're not on Zoom, but we're going to zoom on out of it anyway.